question for Nneka. Hey, I don't know if it's possible to get a statement win in just the fourth game, but just what did this type of performance say about your squad?
I think that, Vegas is the type of team where they're going to get everybody's best game. And we wanted to give our best while also building our own foundation. So being able to feel this type of connection early feels good. It's not where we want to land necessarily, and that's not necessarily to say that it's indicative of the score or anything. It was more so about how we played today. We wanted to string together 4 quarters, especially after the last game versus Phoenix, and I think we did a better job of that today. And I feel good about where we are this early on, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Speaking of connection, 32 assists, what does that say just about the people dishing the ball and also the people running? And neither one of you can answer it.
I think that's kind of what we pride ourselves on, just team basketball. I think, when we just flow and get into our offense, we know that anyone on the floor can score 1 through 10. And so if someone's open, just being able to feed them, sharing the ball, making the other team guard us, and I think that's when we play our best basketball.
Ezzy, can you talk about defense, especially against Asia Wilson, holding her, the MVP, to 15 points?
Yeah, I think that started with Nneka. Obviously, that was her matchup to start the game. Just a great first quarter. And I think with us, when, someone's in that zone defensively, we, don't want to let them down. So Nneka's doing, the work in the first quarter, and then we have to kind of hold everyone else to that standard as well. So yeah, definitely starting with Nneka and then just being able to follow through and help her out. But as with sharing the basketball, I think defensively that's our game as well. So just being able to, hold teams to our goals per quarter and then just go from there.
Ladies, pregame, Coach Quinn mentioned that her focus was dominating the defensive rebounding, and both of you guys respectively led the team in rebounding tonight. So will you talk about that focus, and then what you actually able to getting it done, how that feels, being able to actually get that done?
Well, we want to be able to come in and play transition D and quarter court defense, but it's really meaningless if you don't seal it with a rebound. And I think that was a point of emphasis in the first 3 games. Even in the ones that we won, teams were out-rebounding us. And so we wanted to be able to capitalize on that. And when you think rebounding, you think bigs. But I'd like to really give kudos to our guards. I think they did a really good job of securing the rebounds that we can't necessarily get to, especially with a team that shoots threes and makes threes. Those long rebounds are the ones that really make a difference when you're thinking about possessions in a game. So the team rebounding is kind of the point of emphasis for us, and we can't let up on that at all.
Hey guys, pretty all-around game in this one. Just can you speak to what Erica Wheeler was able to do tonight, 21 off the bench? We've known about her presence as a player and her veteran leadership, but pretty big game off the bench for you guys in this one.
I think, we obviously love having E here in Seattle. She brings the energy off the court, but I think you obviously were able to see that tonight. Kind of she leads, we follow. So offensively, she obviously had a great game, but that's her every practice. She definitely stays aggressive. When she gets downhill, she obviously made a few threes tonight. So I think just being able to have her come off the bench, be that spark, especially with the starters too, she's in our ear all the time. And so just for her to be able to sustain that throughout all 4 quarters was great. Yeah, she's a great player and person.
For Nneka, Skylar the other day said that you break records every day. Today, you passed Candace Parker for 9th all-time scoring. As a former teammate and mentee, what does that mean to you? I played a majority of my career with CP, and when you think about your first years, you're not really thinking about these milestones if they happen, when they happen, and I don't take them lightly at all. But I wouldn't be able to do that without a player like CP. So I hope that she knows that I gave her flowers
when she was setting an example for me. And, today it hits home a little bit more because I followed her lead, and I want to continue to carry on that championship legacy that I learned from her here in Seattle as well.
So Vegas came in as the best team in the W in terms of holding on to the ball. You guys forced 8 in the first half alone. How are you able to be disruptive against a team that does pretty well in handling the rock?
You take it away.
I don't know. I think, I say this a lot, but I think it's our defense and just knowing our energy defensively is going to translate on offense. And so just, getting our hands in lanes, being disruptive, getting deflections, rebounds, just kind of doing anything we can to disrupt their flow is something that we knew was going to be important tonight and going forward as well. And so, it starts with the starters, obviously just being able to get a good flow defensively. And, like I said, Erica, I don't call her Erica, E, being able to come on and, I guess, be that defensive anchor for the bench squad as well.
I don't know if you guys, believe in, a team can have your number, but just how important was it to score 100 points, beat this team by 20, this team that's kind of beating you guys, had a 5-game winning streak, and since 2020, they've really kind of dominated this team. How important was it to have this performance against that team?
I might have a different mindset. I see every team as that team, and I think when it comes to Vegas, there's a different level of respect given, their recent history and winning and legacy. So today was Sunday. We had a game at 3, and it was Las Vegas. So we had to come ready, and we approach each game every night that way. Everyone might have a different perspective, but for me, I just knew that today was a day that we had to win to continue to build to where we want to go.
Just very impressive shooting tonight, 68% in the first half, and then you finish the game with 6%. How do you keep that going, especially with Minnesota coming next?
Yeah.
I think just being able to know that everyone can score when they're on the floor, just being able to flow, continue to get our assists up. I think that's when we play our best offense. But yeah, just being able to, set the tone in this game. Finishing the game strong was important as well because we have a quick turnaround. So just being able to, stay confident in how we finish this game. But nothing new, just kind of building on what we have done these last couple of games. And Minnesota are a great opponent, so we have to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Final question will go to Jeff.
Yeah, for Nneka, can you just talk about Dominique Mwanga's performance off the bench? It kind of stood out.
Yeah. Every day is different for Dom. She does something else that we're like, oh, okay. And she's in tune. She is a very smart person, a very smart player. You can tell that she soaks everything in and she wants to go out and do the right thing. But I think she also wants to go out and have fun. And so we want to make it so for her that going out there and doing what she does on defense, of course, understanding herself in space and being dominant in the paint. I had to do it. But I think every day is some level of improvement or some level of evolution. And you can tell that, at least I feel like she's watching us. Yeah. And so the onus is on us to also do things the right way so she can be in a great position to succeed here. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Coach, to have a performance like that in the 4th game, was it, did it even impress you? Being coaches, you guys are always nitpicking or looking for something, but just your thoughts after this one.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the group to come out with the energy and the focus to have a 34-point quarter. It wasn't just the offense, it was the defense and igniting the crowd and the energy that it created. And one of the things that I'm proud of is it didn't taper off. We were commanding from the beginning, and I thought that through our rotations and through parts of the game, we really stayed sharp. And the focus of today was just continuing to build good days, be better than we were the game before. And I think we showed that we can, we showed our potential, what we can do on both ends of the floor today.
Sorry, Coach. Kind of a similar question regarding energy, but what does energy do for this team in terms of transition and finishing? Just what does it do for your squad?
Well, there's good energy and there's bad energy. So the good energy, allows us to really be connected, utilize our physicality, our athleticism, and generate easy points in transition. Good energy allows us to just play freely. And I think this group is showing that they're committed to each other. They're really bought in, and you see what happens when we hit some shots, but also the prowess that we have on the defensive end of the floor that really helps tremendously. Helps our offense tremendously.
Coach, is it sometimes tough to stay disciplined and have that energy when you have like an emotional thing, like a player coming back, or one of those types of games, like when you're, like for instance, like when you're seeing somebody that was on your team for that many years? Like, is it tough to have that type of discipline?
The focus today was us. It was the Storm versus the Aces, and we knew we were playing a very good team. And I think, we have vets in the room who have been in different type of environments. So I think our theme last game was the discipline. And if we're talking about getting better, I don't think there was any drop-off in that. The focus remains us, how we want to get better, how we want to grow through our systems. And that's what the group is committed to.
Coach, so often throughout the last few years, you talk about rebounding being a mentality that your team needs to have. You win the rebound battle tonight. Did you see that from your group tonight? It really did seem like other players outside of your bigs were crashing the boards.
Yeah, 34-25, I think, that speaks volumes, especially with a team like the Aces, who are very physical, and a lot of what they do in the paint, puts pressure on the rim. I have been harping on rebounding with our group, not just from our post players, but for our guards, and not just even the defensive rebounds, but trying to get some extra possessions offensively. I think we did that today as well. So that's going to continue to be a key emphasis, because this is an area that we need to continue to grow in. And I think, it's a commitment from everyone who's on the floor to be fundamental, box out, be physical, and go pursue rebounds.
Coach Dominique had 8 points and 5 rebounds today. So I'm wondering, A, what you thought about her performance, and B, when she got out ahead of the pack there, did you think Dunk might be coming?
I for sure did. She kind of fumbled it a little bit, but it was coming for sure if she caught it clean. I thought Dom had was excellent in her minutes. I saw a good matchup with her and Kitley, I think, and I talk about this for a couple of days. Dom is going to have to grow within games, and if I can find, without a lot of practice time, if I can find those moments for her, I will. She's very smart. She picks up concepts, and she's a capable defender and rim protector. But also, you can kind of see what she can do in space. So I was super proud of her, excited for her. The three, something that we've seen in practice. I know she can take it and hit it. So it's about the process of development with her, and she's locked into that.
Coach, the Aces over the recent years have kind of had your guys' team's number. How rewarding is it for you personally to see your team execute so highly on both ends of the court? A lot of times the Aces are measuring sticks throughout the season because they're a well-oiled machine and have so much firepower at every position. For me, I am proud of the group for we just had a video session and a walkthrough, so showing up prepared and ready to play a tough team, but also their attention to scout detail. Again, when I'm coming to the timeout and the huddles, they're automatically talking and communicating through things. So to have a win like this early, it's a
good to grow from. Good to see that where we can be and who we can be against top teams in this league.
All right, we have time for one more question. Roberta.
Coach, Erica Wheeler came in halfway through the first quarter, and just shortly after, she hit a three that opened that run that gave the Storm, that gave you guys the biggest lead, and that was a lineup with Erica, Skylar, Nneka, Gabby. What is it about that lineup that, and you think was that a key for the Storm to shoot 68% in the first half and then finish shooting 60?
I think that lineup, first and foremost, we talk about having vets, but defensively, what they can do to generate some steals and just the energy level that we need to play with. Erica allows Sky to play off the ball even defensively. And just, again, another playmaker on a different area of the floor when we get to next actions or even initiating our offense. So, again, just gives us another offensive look that, especially when teams are going small. I think we can now match up according to, however teams are playing, or if they have big posts or if they have guards on the floor as well.
Thank you.